A new workplace trend is gaining ground across the country. It's called quiet hiring, and some employees are already fuming about it. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
And I'm Erin E. LeBeau. So over the past couple of years, we've had a few different workplace trends. There's quiet quitting, where employees do the bare minimum just to get by, and quiet firing, where managers fail to support career development and the employee ends up getting pushed out.
Yeah, well, now there's a new one called quiet hiring, and joining us to explain what it is and the impact it's having on workers these days, Sean Mike, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, so first of all, what is quiet hiring?
You got employers that downsize in tough economic times, right? And what they expect the current workforce to do is to pick up these jobs, right? To do more, expand more, but sometimes or most of the time with no additional pay, no additional title, no additional potential benefits. So they're just kind of taking the workforce they got now, the downsize, and waiting to see who's going to take on additional roles without any added benefit to them.
Okay, so speaking of benefit, who essentially does this benefit?
Well, you know, it's funny. Everybody says it benefits the employer, and I don't know that it does or it doesn't down the road. Right now, it does in the immediate, but I think it benefits the right employee. You know, I can remember some of these bad economic times, and as an employee, my job was if I could do things for people that weren't being done and then negotiate on behalf of myself. So I think the employer benefits today, but the right employees, if you're at a job and you're working hard and you're taking on new duties, hey, negotiate for yourself. And if it's not with that employer, it'll be with somebody else because you are and you have an added benefit to that company.
Yeah, let's talk about that, the impact on employees, because that's really important. When you hear quiet hiring, you're not exactly sure who it impacts.
Well, I mean, you take any company out there, and you're going to have, as you noted, right, people that are quiet quitting.
Sure.
The people that, but there's a number of people, every job I ever had, as I was building my business, even before I decided to build any business, I always thought I wanted to make myself useful, and then I wanted to get more for it. Mm-hmm. So you should always be thinking, if you're doing more than your peers and you're putting out more and you're making more of an impact, I think enough people don't leave their jobs and seek newer and better jobs based on the benefit they provide to their employer.
Okay, so let's get a little personal. You own your own company. Is this something that you would do?
No, man, I communicate with people. No, I don't like it. I don't like quiet anything.
Yeah,
I think
right?
that you should. I really don't. Like, what do you mean quiet hiring, quiet quitting? I think you talk to people the way you want to be talked to. You treat them the way you want to be treated. And you communicate appropriately. If you need to downsize, you sit them down and you talk to them. You have a conversation with everybody that you employ. Because when you employ people, you give up that right to just be average and ordinary at what you're doing. You have to work hard to lead people and serve them the way you want to be served. I'm a big servant leadership kind of person. So, no, I don't participate in quiet anything, man. We communicate with people directly.
I like that. No secrets around there. It's good. Well, so numerous career experts say that quiet hiring is going to be one of the top workplace trends of the year. Do you agree with that? And why do you think that's what it's going to be for 2023?
I unfortunately do. I think lack of leadership. I think a lot of companies nowadays lack leadership and they blame the employee. It's kind of funny when they blame the employees for not doing what they think they're supposed to be doing. Like, where's the leadership? I do think it's going to be a trend, but I do think, guys, when you fast forward 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, and things always change economically, we're going to come out of it. And when we do, the companies that handled it the right way during the bad economic time are going to be really healthy. And I think the ones that participate in this quiet hiring, I think they're going to suffer because the good people they're not going to forget the way they were treated. And they're going to find companies that didn't treat their people like that. And they're going to be left with the people they probably don't necessarily want to be in business with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what impact do you think this will have on the overall job market, though?
You know, it's so crazy because I think it's a phenomenal time for employees, right? With all this quiet everything and a lot of the downsizing. And I think, listen, some companies need to learn. Every company I've ever run, we found out what we needed for a staff. We didn't try to get more out of everybody than we could, but it was equitable and fair. And if I couldn't run it that way, then I didn't continue to do so. But I think you're gonna see, unfortunately, that this will continue. But I'm telling you, if you're an employee out there, please know your worth. Please know your value. If you're participating in this quiet hiring and you're one of the people that's helping drive the company, negotiate on your behalf and don't ever be afraid to stand up for what you believe in.
Yeah, we definitely have got to have you back to talk about this because I think it's so important for people to know their worth, that's for sure. And over the course of the past 3 years, 3 years, everything has changed so much, from people working from home and coming back to work and leaving, and everything was being a big secret. So, Sean, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
For more career tips, you can follow Sean on Instagram at Sean Mike.